Welcome to Syncreate, a show for creative seekers. We explore the deep human stories of creativity, psychology, and spirituality. We believe everyone has the capacity to create. Our goal is to demystify the process and expand the boundaries of what it means to be creative. What holds us back? Why do we get stuck? And how can we fully embrace our creativity? We talk with visionaries and change makers and everyday creatives working in a wide range of fields and media, from the arts to science, technology, and business. We aim to illuminate the creative process, from imagination to innovation and everything in between. I'm Melinda Rothouse, and I help individuals and organizations bring their dreams and visions to life.
I'm Charlotte Gulick, and I'm a writer, educator, and writing coach. We are the co-authors of a book on the creative process, also called Syncreate. At Syncreate, we're here to support your creative endeavors. If you have an idea for a project or a new venture and you're not sure how to get it off the ground, find us at syncreate.org. Our book, now available in both print and audiobook format, walks you through the stages of the creative process so you can take action on your creative goals. We offer resources, creative process tools, and coaching to help you bring your work to the world.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Syncreate podcast and our Creative Spark series of mini episodes designed to help you ignite your own creativity. So today we're going to be talking about putting yourself out there creatively and what that looks like and what it means. So, so many people have creative ideas or ideas for like new inventions or projects they want to do. But sometimes we get stuck. We have a great idea, but we are afraid to fully put it out there or fully just put ourselves out there because, of course, it's risky. We might fear failure or whatever. But the thing about it is you'll never know unless you try. So I have a personal example of this, and I've mentioned it throughout some of our recent episodes. So last summer when I was in Ireland, I shot a music video for one of my new songs that's coming out of the blue.
Have you done that before?
First time I ever did a music video. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a first for that. Okay.
A first for that, yes. And so with my collaborator, George, who I do the song with, and my partner, Euro, who is a filmmaker, and we did some guerrilla filmmaking in the west of Ireland, and it was a really fun process. I scoped out locations beforehand because that's where the song was kind of inspired, and we did it and we made it happen. We got a drone. We did some drone footage and we edited it all together, and it came out really cool. So kind of excited about it. So in this kind of lead up phase, once the video was finished, I decided to submit it to film festivals because in some sense a music video is kind of a short film. And the way we conceived this video, it was like not a typical music video where you're like lip syncing the song or something. It was like a short film set to the song. So we were happy with how it came out and started submitting it to film festivals in the music video category. And we've been winning a bunch of awards and recognitions and getting accepted to numerous festivals. And we've won awards now for Best Music Video and Best Music, which is super exciting. I'd also never done that before. I didn't really know much about the film world or the film festival circuit. I kind of had to learn that process. So for me, it was putting myself and putting this project, which I really believed in, out there in a lot of different ways. It's exciting to get some recognition for it. And if I hadn't done that, I never would have known. And it turns out to be this interesting backdoor way to get some momentum around the song and the video before it officially releases, which is happening on June 5th.
awesome. So many amazing things there. So, first time making a music video, first time scouting, first time doing a drone. What helped you? Well, like, what's the thing that made you go, you know what? I'm gonna submit this to some contests. Because there's so many firsts here. Some folks would be like, I got to make four before I try. So, like, what was that trajectory change?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, so I have some filmmakers in my life, and I've
Mhm.
learned a lot, from them, including my partner Yoro, who's a filmmaker, and he has done some short films that he submitted to festivals. So I learned a little bit about the process from him. And I mean, I didn't even know that you could submit a music video to a film festival, but I just started researching it, and turns out actually a lot of film festivals accept music videos. They have a special category for music videos, especially short film festivals and independent film festivals. Um, and there are even dedicated music video festivals. So just a lot, like it's a whole new world for me to explore. But knowing some people who are in that world and who have submitted to other festivals and had their work shown, um, it was just kind of one of these things where I think, you know, as a creative, we're always like exploring new territory and maybe bridging into new media that we haven't necessarily explored before, or hopefully we're open to doing that. And it was just that it was like an expansion of my own boundaries of what I had done before, and moving into new spaces.
I think it's a really interesting there's like a deeper story here and or a reframe because I think of you as extremely creatively adventurous, competent. Like you do so many different things. And so part of me is like, is this that you didn't have the confidence to do it? And I'm like, no, I don't think that. I think that's like it's a new perspective.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
a
like
new
being around other
genre
people.
and a new
Yeah.
perspective and just a new world. And it's interesting to me because I've been an independent musician for a long time. And oftentimes the music industry feels utterly impenetrable as an
Hmm.
independent musician. But somehow the film world, to me, feels through this experience a lot more accessible in a way, and
Interesting.
organic and like indie friendly and things like that. And so, yeah, it's been just a really interesting, like, part of the creative landscape to explore.
I think it's also a really powerful example of when we hang out with people who work in different mediums, how they can bring a perspective to us and be like, "Oh, did you know?" And you're like, "I didn't." So like an expanded worldview, about
Absolutely.
what's possible
Absolutely. Yeah.
for
So I
us.
I know you've also had to put yourself out there in many, many ways, particularly as a writer. And
Mhm.
it can be so daunting to submit your work to different, journals and publications and contests and things like that. So, what's that been like for you?
Well, I do have a few examples. Like a few years ago, an article came out about someone who said they were going to try for 100 rejections that year from literary magazines.
Yeah.
And that was the goal. It wasn't about getting things submitted. And I've really taken that to heart. Um, of course, I want things to get published, but that like almost shifting the goalpost for myself has made it so that I'm much more willing to take the risks to submit things. And then, I've been to a very prestigious writers' colony. I didn't know how prestigious when I went, which was probably, a helpful thing, and I got accepted, and when I got there, people are like, "You hand wrote your application?" I was like, "I didn't know." Like, they had all, like, gone and rented typewriters so long ago or whatever I had done, and I was like, uh, and it was amazing to me to get accepted, and I think sometimes an outsider perspective can actually give you an edge or like what you're saying with the film festivals and the music video is that it feels wide open. You're not necessarily, not embittered, but like that you're like, "Oh, I've taken so much rejection as an independent music maker that but let me try this other thing. It just feels more possible."
Yeah.
And there've been a couple of, writing awards that, I was like, just feeling that in your body, we're like, "I don't know if I should apply or not. Who am I to apply?" And then just this other voice saying, "Well, your chances of winning are so much better if you submit something than if you don't," which seems so obvious, but really grateful for that voice. And I've won a few things, that surprisingly, um, or not surprisingly, like, I didn't think that was possible for me, and, the door has been open. So I think, for me, in the creative process, putting myself out there is almost as important as the process itself because it is about, connecting to other people through the medium that I choose.
Yeah. And it's also about like, it doesn't always happen on the first try or the third try or
Mm.
the 10th or the 100th try, right? And the key is that we have to keep trying, and persistence is so important, and not getting discouraged, right? I mean, I know you've told stories about pasting up rejection letters on your wall just to
Yeah.
remind you to like keep going, right?
And I think that for me, there's this joy in the process.
Mhm.
Like what's the story that I'm telling myself about my creativity? Um, and rejection is part of it. And, the other part of this, I'm also trying to improve my craft.
Mhm.
So, it's like both things, persistence and, the work to get it better. And again, kind of that like outsider perspective. Um, when I was at this artist colony and it was all kinds of fields, composers, visual artists, dancers, and, like, the 4th day we were there, and I was like, "What is visual art?" And
Yeah.
and someone was like, "Exactly."
And you're like, "No, I'm serious.
No,
What is
I
it?"
actually don't know what it means. And they're like, "Brilliant." And I'm like, "No, I there's a term." I mean, I know he paints and she sculpts, but I'd never had an opportunity to put it all together.
Mhm.
Um, so I think those like the outsider or like the I don't there's thinking like, your naivete is like, "Yeah, let's go for it. Why not? Why shouldn't I enter this
Right.
film festival?"
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it kind of like I don't want it to be like, "My work belongs in the world," but, like, maybe there's a chance, and,
Absolutely.
the universe can say yes.
Mhm. But not unless we take the step to put it out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the persistence of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so for me, like, these experiences are inspiring me to put more of my work out there, like to submit to songwriting contests and other kinds of things that I just had never really kind of thought to do before. Because again, you never know until you try.
I think this is something we also talk about in our book, but sometimes in a new genre or new medium, we have beginner's mind, so
Yes,
the world is opened up, and I think that, um, we're not inherently saying, no without I'm not saying it well, but, like, that you're like, the world can it's like a yes and mode when we try a new thing, um,
absolutely.
but I do think some people are reluctant to do that because, "Well, I'm an accomplished th X, so I cannot try Y."
Right. I'm known in this one particular field and I have to stay like focused or, pigeonholed in one area or something. Yeah.
And then we would advocate that starting out as a beginner, has so much freshness to it, and then you're probably not the beginner that you think you are because 'cause you're bringing some expertise from your primary medium.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, our pro tip today is to get out there, put yourself out in some way, whether it's entering a competition or a contest or just submitting your work for publication or going to an open mic or whatever it might be. Just, whatever you've been sitting on or whatever project you're excited about, take that next step to put it out in the world in some way.
I know that there's a storytelling event near us, and I texted a friend if she wanted to go, and she's like, as long as I just listen. And I think that's a way to try
That's a start.
You don't have to go and do the thing. You can brush up against it.
You could scope it out, and then maybe later you'll
Plant your world.
Feel courageous to actually participate.
Find and connect with us on YouTube and social media under Syncreate. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and leave us a review.
We're recording today at Record ATX Studios in Austin with Charlotte joining us from the Hudson Valley. The podcast is produced in collaboration with Mike Osborne at 14th Street Studios. Thanks so much for being with us, and see you next time.